You might be right. But it's been 2 years. It's time to face the world. Time to adult. The good news, though, at least you don't have to do it alone.
Twin Mirror might be the Christopher Nolan game you've been looking for. It's not long until we have to wait for the next release from the storytelling-focused developer Dontnod Entertainment with their latest game, the psychological thriller Twin Mirror. Thanks to the developer, I got some hands-on time with the new game and got to experience the first few hours of the story. For what I thought the title might suggest, a game that feels like a lovely comparison to David Lynch's iconic TV series Twin Peaks, in actuality, it shares more DNA with Christopher Nolan films. In previous Dontnod games, the focus usually is spent on personal relationships with characters that you develop along the way, while uncovering deeper and scarier secrets in a given community. Twin Mirror is no different from that formula. Instead of teenage girls from Arcadia Bay and Life is Strange, or fractured siblings from Delos Crossing and Tell Me Why, in Twin Mirror, we get Sam Higgs, an investigative journalist, formerly of Basswood, returning home after 2 years away. He finds himself coming back to the town after writing an article that took away one of the major functions of the town, the mines, and has to pay his respects to his friend and colleague, Nick, who had passed away due to unusual circumstances. It's not long until Sam starts to investigate, and comes to the conclusion of foul play in Nick's death, and discovering what role he might have to play after waking up the next morning with his shirt covered in blood. It's not a Dontnod game if the main character didn't have a supernatural ability of some sort, and while Twin Mirror has that, it's not necessarily a power in the typical sense. Instead, it's more of a visual representation of what's going on through the mind of Sam. It's represented by this mirror world motif that allows Sam to recall past memories that enriches his relationships between the other characters, but also helps him recreate crime scenes. It's less like Batman using detective mode in the Arkham series, and more like my man Dominic Toretto in the Fast and the Furious. While it's a tried and true game mechanic that I've seen used many times, it does fit well within the story of the Dontnod is trying to tell. Along with Sam's mind palace, he also seems to have a mental construct of a more sophisticated version of himself that he has conversations with throughout the game, acting as a moral compass when it comes to decision making. Sam's double demonstrates his internal strife after the fallout of the article. Sam looks tired and beaten down with a 5 o'clock shadow that is days late from a shave, and Sam's mind doppelganger looks like a more suave Patrick Bateman type with gloves. He's sophisticated, clean, and clever, and he knows how to get under Sam's skin. Sam's doppelganger very much might be the standout for the game, and made me curious if he could be trusted, even if he is Sam himself. Overall, I am intrigued by where the story of Twin Mirror is going to take me on the full release when it comes out. I am a sucker when it comes to small town stories with defined and interesting characters, and this looks no different. With Twin Peaks being my favorite example of a murder mystery small town and its denizens, it's clear that Twin Mirror's cast won't be as wacky as Twin Peaks, despite a few honest, hilarious interactions. But either way, I'm looking forward to learning more about the town of Basswood as the game continues and getting to experience the full story. With the murder mystery aspect of Twin Mirrors, it feels more inclined with the Christopher Nolan's early films, such as Following, Memento, Insomnia, and some clear inspirations from Inception. As a recent watcher of this work, I was very much pleased as the game continued to see how the story took similar unexpected twists and turns. From what I've played of Twin Mirror so far, I'm looking forward to see how these aspects of the story shakes out for those who love suspenseful narratives in their video games. What I like what I'm seeing in Twin Mirror so far, there are some minor gripes from what I've played that I hope gets polished up in the final release. A key function of this game is the seemingly illusion of choice, and as someone who has played many choose-your-own-adventure games over the years, I particularly love the style in the games like Telltale's Walking Dead, and Supermassive's Until Dawn, with its implementation of choices and branching. As of now, Twin Mirror is not as expansive as I hoped when it came to making those same sort of big choice moments. To test this theory, I made sure to play through the preview a few times to see what the major divergence is and how the story unfolds, but there was nothing massively different from moment to moment. In the preview notes from the developer, they did say that while these are the opening hours of the game, and that my choices are seemingly non-consequential, later parts of the game will provide more dynamic changes, so I looked forward to see how that shakes out. My main other concern in Twin Mirror is the way that the investigation aspect is handled in regards to finding and gathering clues. Like a lot of other games that use a very similar mechanic, you simply have to walk around an area and look at viewable objects. My issue with this function is that some of the clues objects are not highlightable until you find certain clues first. which could lead to annoyances for the players having to circle back a lot to search for something in the area that they've already thought they've completed. It's in these instances in Twin Mirror that I wish that there might be more consideration for different ways that the player can map out solutions, since the recreations of the crime scenes seemingly only have one true conclusion. I'm very much looking forward to Twin Mirror when it comes out, hoping that the choices in the game grip me as much as they did in Dontnod's previous games, and that they knock this one out of the park as their first self-published title. Sam Higgs' journey is certainly troubled, and with the help of his doppelganger and the denizens of the town of Basswood, he might be able to figure out the mystery ahead, or be damned by his choices. For the most part, it seems like Twin Mirror will be all about who Sam can and cannot trust, including himself and his own mind. Twin Mirror launches on PC, Xbox One, and PS4 on December 1st, 2020. If you enjoyed that video and would like to see more previews, editorials, and reviews, please, by all means, check out our previous videos. A lot of great work is being done by some of our editors, and we need your support. If you can hit a subscribe or hit the like button, we very much appreciate it. Again, I am Mario Rivera, and thank you for listening, and until next time.